Hi there, it's Catherine, your lawyer friend and guide, and this is the #1 podcast for legal careers in Japan. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Lawyer on Air. I'm so glad you're here with me today. My guest is the total delight, Akemi Suzuki, a corporate M&A partner at Nagashima Ohno Tsunematsu right here in Tokyo. With over 25 years of experience in cross-border deals and data privacy, Akemi has been recognised as ALB's Women Lawyer of the Year, not once, but twice. What made this conversation extra special for me was that Akemi and I are sisters in the law. We entered the profession around the same time, and both of us have more than 2 decades of law under our belts. It felt like talking to a colleague who has walked a parallel path, but with her own unique twists and turns. Akemi shares a refreshing perspective on life, making time for vacations, not dwelling on regrets, and focusing on what really matters. She also gives some wise advice to anyone starting out as a board member and some old-fashioned advice for new lawyers. One of the things I love most is her reminder not to compare yourself to others. Comparison really is the thief of joy. We often see others at their best, or what we think is their best, and then measure it against where we feel we're at. But we forget we're all works in progress. And that's why I often remind my coaching clients, don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. So get ready for a conversation that's full of honesty, surprises, and inspiration. Let's get into it. Hello, Akemi, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Let's start with the warm-up question. Imagine we are meeting up in person. Where are we, and what are you ordering as your drink from the menu?
I would say we are at the bar with very nice view probably. I will be ordering a glass of Chablis or Chardonnay from the menu.
Oh, you like a white wine?
Yes, I do, especially, since it's been so hot in Tokyo these
Yes,
days.
that's for
Yes.
sure. What kind of bar has a view these days? Do you know anything in particular that you might recommend that has a view? I'm trying to think as well.
Well, I guess there are some nice bar, but I would like to go to this place in my neighborhood where it's not a nice city view necessarily, but you can see people go by. You can do people watching, dog watching, and to do that in the afternoon of a lazy Sunday, that's just very, very nice.
So nice. And I just love that people watching thing, isn't it? You learn so much and see so much. That's such fun. Okay, well, maybe we can make that happen in the future. That'd be great.
Sure.
Well, let's get into it and your career. I want to go in there because I've seen you so many times around town at Tokyo and at different events, but I don't actually know what first inspired you to pursue law. Can you help me go back there and tell me what happened? What got you interested in law?
Yes, well, it's, I guess, close to like 30 years ago, but
Same as me,
um,
same as me.
right. When I entered college, I really wanted to do something or something to achieve during college. So I wanted to challenge myself. And since I was a law major, 2 most difficult exams at the time that you could take were the diplomat and bar exam. And the diplomat exams seemed too difficult, so I chose the bar exam and started to pursue my legal career.
Oh, I see. Did you always think I'm going to be a partner at one of Japan's top law firms?
Well, not at all. I was planning to work hard, study abroad, and then transition to an NPO or internal organizations or work in-house.
Oh, I see. So you plan to be MPO or in-house, not in the firm that you are in now, which is a prestigious firm.
Correct. It just didn't really seem like something that I could do at the time. A lot of the female partners that I saw at my firm and other firms seemed very accomplished, had everything kind of lined up for their career. And I wasn't really sure that would be for me.
Ooh, I want to ask you what the reality of that is. Is it actually that everyone has things lined up?
No, it just looks that way from outside, but everyone kind of juggles and they have their own system. So I, later learned that I was just trapped with my own kind of biases
I see.
about women in partnership.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes they say if you can't see it, you can't be it, right? So if you can't see someone doing what you think you could do, then you don't have an idea about doing it. But you actually had women who you saw who were in these roles, but still felt you had this bias towards yourself that you wouldn't be able to do that.
Right. It's somewhat ironic, but that really kind of taught me that, representation matters, especially in the sense that, there are more women out there doing things differently. So then when other people see it, and then they would say, oh, she's doing this way, maybe I can do it that way. So that kind of, variety in how you pursue career is very important.
Yeah, I love that variety. So you can see someone and think, I'll do it the same. Or you see someone and think, oh, I'll do it another way.
Hmm.
I love that. So you did actually study at KO and then you became a legal trainee at the Supreme Court of Japan Training Institute. And then you did head overseas to Stanford University Law School. And so tell us a bit more about that initial part of your journey and what you were thinking about during those times.
Right. Professionally, I think I was on a very typical path for associates at a large law firm in Japan. It's crunch time, right? I worked long hours, often past midnight, growing into a mid-level associate. On the personal front, it was quite a turbulent time. When I started my career, my mother was in hospice care. So I spent my first year as an associate shuttling between work and the hospice. After her passing, I spent a lot of time taking care of my three younger siblings and my father. That was partially why I thought, okay, I can't really count on my mother's help pursuing my career. But later on, I realized that you can do it differently. And here I am.
Here you are, indeed. Oh my goodness. What a terrible time to go through during your early years and to also be in charge of, helping to care for your siblings. That's tough, but I'm sure it taught you some inner strength and perhaps has helped to guide you in some way along your life.
Yes, exactly. It was a very profound and formative experience and really shaped my worldview of careers and life in general. For instance, I know that life is short and I want to make the most of it. So I want to live doing what I enjoy. I want to work hard, but I also want to have fun along the way. I do not want to put off dream vacations. I just don't have time for whining or regret, so I just act.
Oh, that is so good. I love it. That's wonderful, right? Life is short, and you are someone who does make the time to go and do all those fun things, as well as pushing through in the firm and being a real leader there. But you did actually come back from the States then, and I think you joined in-house as you presumed you would do.
Yes, so because I went to Big Law right after college, I wanted to experience working inside corporations. So I did secondment at two companies.
I see. And would you call that in-house or would you call it really a secondment? Did you think you had a pure kind of in-house feeling or experience while you were on secondment?
Probably not the full in-house experience, but at one company I worked for 2 years. So hopefully I was able to function quite well as an in-house member of the legal team.
Sure. And what about those learnings then?
It was a very valuable experience. Two learnings come to mind, and one is lawyers focus on legal issues and viewpoints, and that's our job. But businesses have numerous other perspectives, and legal is just one of them. So this really taught me to always consider how my legal advice contributes to the overall business decisions.
How did you come to think about that? Because we sort of think as lawyers sitting there that we are advising on law, but what was there something that triggered you to understand that legal's just one perspective?
When I was working as an in-house, we asked several law firms to assist us in the project, and they gave us legal advice. I would sort of translate that legal advice that was given by the external law firm and explain that to the business team for their business judgment. And in the course of, translating, I realized that some of what they are saying doesn't really mean so much to the business as I understood it. And then as I was presenting it to the business team, they have, all the other things that they have to consider. So it was just quite obvious that it's just one aspect, not all, one very important aspect. And I guess the importance varies depending on the subject or the matter. But this also kind of really helped me put things into perspective as I serve as an external board member as well.
For sure. And I'm sure that those in house days that you had are now serving you really well in private practice because now you're the one on the other side of the matter helping the people who are inside the business, the lawyers and the business team, right?
Yes. And the other thing that I learned while I was working as in-house was that clients do have many choices of lawyers, and who they choose is not rocket science.
Mm.
I remember attending a meeting where a team from a well-known US law firm pitched for a project. They had clearly done their homework and seemed motivated. But my boss at the time didn't choose them. So I asked why. He simply said chemistry. Perhaps maybe he didn't want to bother to explaining, but it sort of made sense to me because lawyering is in a human relationship. So this really kind of deepened my appreciation for clients and contacts who choose me, and I want to help them with the best work that we can offer.
Well, that's just gold, isn't it? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's another kind of science called chemistry. That's human chemistry. Lawyering is, you said, human relationships. That's
Right.
spot on, isn't it? We think we're going in there advising on the law, opening the big books or online these days, and giving advice on what the law says, but it's actually about building the relationships, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, what magical insights you learnt at those days, and now they're serving you right now. Looking back, are there other pivotal steps or decisions that helped you think, maybe to rise up in the profession?
I think that a pivotal decision that helped me get to where I am today was putting myself forward for partner promotion about 15 years ago.
Mhm.
I almost didn't do so because I wanted to start family and fear that I will let other people down if I couldn't give 100% after being promoted. I wouldn't be able to go to client dinners after having a baby. What if the baby was fussy? Blah, blah, blah. So a lot of what if was going through my head. Then my husband sort of shut me down by saying that I should definitely seek promotion because I've earned it, not based on what might or might not happen. So I think that for many women, our desire to be better and do more sometimes blinds us to the hard work that we have done. So we root for others, but not really for ourselves. So I'm grateful that my husband reminded me of that at that critical time.
Absolutely. Wow. Kudos to your husband for saying that. And it's changed your life, not to think about what ifs, but go in there and you earned it. So why not do that? Amazing. So, what does it take then to be a partner at a leading firm like you are at? And I guess there's the qualities and habits and mindset. If we're talking about chemistry before, I'm talking about the softer skills perhaps that are hardwired inside you that you need. So, of course, you've got to hit all the test marks for the partnership program. But are there other things that you found, qualities, your mindset, things that you were doing that were really important?
I think you want to be emotionally stable. We are helping clients going through a difficult time or crises even. And I think it really starts within yourselves. It's almost like you can't help others unless you're well. Also, what I say to my younger colleagues is that professional careers are very long and winding. So
Mm.
there are many paths to reach your goals. So you can sort of set your vision and choose your path. And the shortest path is not always the best, and the path is not linear. So best not to compare your path with others because your path is your own. And that kind of mindset of not comparing with others, shields you from excessive pressure that you don't really need to function the best.
Exactly. They often say that comparison is the thief of joy, right? That comparing yourself to others will take away the joy. And I think also you're right, the process is and the pathway is not linear at all. Even though you may be in a law firm and it may look linear from the outside, it's certainly not. Did you mean there that you can't really help others unless you're stable yourself? So you have to be emotionally stable?
Yes,
Right, because the client's also going through quite an emotionally filled situation, so they need an advisor who is going to be emotionally stable for them.
right.
Right. Were there other things there that helped you during that pathway to get to the top there?
Having someone that, you can confide with is critical, right? To get through every day. It could be your colleague, it could be your boss, it could be your friends, it could be your family member. But without those listening to you and, giving you emotional support, it would have been difficult for me. And also someone who would, at the same time, someone who would challenge you when you are being whiny, then they will tell you. When you are in the wrong, they will tell
Right.
you. I guess probably a very trustworthy support network
Fantastic.
is
It's
very important.
yeah, it's like someone's opening holding a mirror up to you, isn't it? And saying, "Hang on, you're acting like this. It's probably not serving you the best." Yeah,
Hmm.
brilliant. Yeah, we all need those people around us to support us. You have a practice there that covers M&A and technology and data privacy. And I know you're also an external board member. How do you organize your life and balance in so many demanding roles that you have? You talked earlier about juggles. That was one of the words you used. How are you juggling?
Well, keeping a good balance is not easy, and it is a work in progress for me. And sometimes it feels like I keep adding on
Mm,
more to, juggle with. But I tell myself that it's really not a sprint, but more like a marathon. So, as I mentioned, I'm intentional on maintaining a great support network. My team, my husband, my father, our housekeeper, the daycare, and that's really their understanding is the only reason that I can do what I do. Also, from a different perspective, having many things to juggle is not bad. You are forced to be distracted from something. For instance, I have two children. They require a certain amount of my time, obviously, and I'm happy to give them, and that take away some time from work, but that's okay. If I didn't really have any other distractions or other things to juggle with, then I would be spending maybe too much time on work and I would get a burnout. So that's how I try to kind of look at these other responsibilities that I have.
that is such a fresh view. I have not heard someone say that before. Having many things is not a bad thing. And having that distraction of something else to take your mind off work. That's brilliant. Is there a non negotiable you have in your day? Perhaps it is spending the time with your children.
Yes, that definitely. And I try to have dinner with them every night as much as I can. And that's something that I look forward to at the end of the day. This wasn't possible before COVID. So COVID was a terrible experience for many, but it was kind of a blessing for us as we, started this tradition at our home. The other thing is I go to gym at least once a week. I would like to go maybe twice a week, but I will take once a week.
Brilliant. Is there anything you'd advise young lawyers, perhaps? We often say, do this, do this, do this, but something that they would not do, something you'd advise lawyers not to do if they want sort of a long, successful career? It's a long journey, as you said. Is there something you'd say, mm-mm, give that up?
Compare themselves to others,
Yes.
be jealous, be unkind. It's a small world. You don't know who is connected with who. Good deeds will come back to you. So just, I guess, be decent, humble, put in good work. Sorry, these are all do's, not do, but
Well,
the
don't compare
opposite of
yourself. Don't be
right,
jealous. Don't be unkind. Yeah.
right, yes.
Right. It's reminded me of recently, I saw a baseball game in the States, just the reaction of the ball went into the where the people were and the spectators. Did you see this? A lady was about to grab it and another guy took it off her and he gave it to his son. And she went running after him and yelling and screaming at him. And this is all on TV. It was really crazy, but it just showed up her personality, that kind of, it's mine, I'm jealous of you giving that to your kid. And it was kind of unkind. And it's not law, but it shows a person in public how they react and how they act. And it taught me a lot there just to see that, is that anything and anyone is being watched all the time. And apparently she lost her job for doing that. So it's sort of interesting, isn't it? How you act can really be impactful on not only your career, but things that you do outside of it.
Yes, I saw that clip as well. You will feel that maybe something comes up in such an instant, right? Like a true self. I don't know about the
Yes.
person.
No,
I
that's
will
right.
feel, I hope that it wasn't all her, but yes, I
Yeah,
think we have to have bandwidth, right? If you are very low on your bandwidth, and then things that you could normally do, you cannot do. So it's important to always have some capacity left for something that just comes out of nowhere. Otherwise, you will be so reactive and might do something that you might regret later on.
that's true. And we don't know that person's circumstances, but having some capacity, yeah, maybe she was out of capacity and other things may have been going on. But in that moment, I'm sure she regrets what
Right.
happened. Yeah, interesting. Well, I'm going to ask you about pivotal moment that has happened in your career, but it's really more like a reinvention moment. So we always talk about doing something, but sometimes we reinvent ourselves. Perhaps you've had a reinvention moment where you've had to let go of the old and bring in some new. Even though you've got that busy schedule, you are bringing lots in. What have you let go of to allow something new to come in?
Well, I had two kids within the first 4 years of becoming a partner. And although my firm was supportive, it was difficult to manage fast-paced M&As that I was doing prior while caring for infants. So I had to shift to more subject matter expert type work, such as data privacy and long-term projects such as energy and resort development. This probably wasn't really an invention, as you call it, but at the time it was frustrating, slightly frightening. In the end, though, this really greatly helped broaden my practice. So I just wanted to share as one example of paths that you don't necessarily desire will kind of lead you to a next place that you didn't necessarily anticipate, and even a better place.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because now you are a subject matter expert in this area. So it's
Yes,
worked in your favor, hasn't it, in the end? But at the time, a shift to a subject matter expertise was not really done so much. Is that what you mean? It was a little different. Most people were more general practitioners.
so when I started about 25 years ago, uh, makes me feel old, but
Hey, I'm with you. I'm the same.
some of the female partners at the time when I joined the firm were, tax expert, antitrust expert, or funds management. So they all had the expertise, their very specialized fields. I always did M&As. I still do. So, there was a big question mark as to if I could really continue as doing exciting but unpredictable nature of work such as M&As. And then also starting kind of those more subject matters expert type of work later on in your career is not very common. So that was the source of some frustration at the time. But then all roads leads to one place. That's kind of what
I
happened.
see. Right. And now you're a go-to, but at the time it was very frustrating and, as you said, frightening. That's quite vulnerable for you to say that now. But I'm wondering then what your superpower is as a lawyer. The strength that people can count on you for. I feel you've got a superpower. Let's reveal it.
I hope I do. I think that people can count on me to be fair. I obviously pursue the best interests of my clients, but I also strive to be fair to counterparties and other stakeholders. And because I firmly believe that it's ultimately in my client's best interest. Some things that are kind of happening around the world now, a lot of, rules and basic kind of principles that have been there for a long time seem somewhat at risk. And, at times like this, it seems that being fair and reasonable is a very important quality for
Ah, I
lawyers
love
to
that.
have.
Yeah. I saw something recently too about if you saw beauty in everybody, you'd never be cruel or mean or unkind, or again, you'd be fair all the time because you see beauty in every single person. And that's got me thinking a lot as well. And I think your superpower of fairness has some relevance to that as well. Mm. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. You're also doing board work. You're an external board member at Mitsui Sumitomo Insurance. Tell me what motivated you to take on that role. And perhaps there's people out there who are listening in who want to be on a board, maybe as lawyers. Perhaps you've got a couple of tips for them to take on to try and get themselves ready for a board role.
So I previously served as an external board member at a smaller company, helping them get listed on the Tokyo Exchange. So I actually got to rang the bell at the Tokyo
Oh,
Exchange.
you
That
rang
was
the bell.
exciting. Yes.
Exciting.
So I was interested in trying a supervisory and audit member role, kansayak role, at much larger institution. Obviously, I have learned a great deal through this experience, as the insurance business covers the risks of all the businesses. I get contacted by people who wants to explore those external board member positions, and I don't really have greatest tip, I think. But to me, outside directors are expected to make decisions based on the experience and knowledge. So to me, this is not a position that you actively seek, but rather it comes naturally as one gains more experience, expertise in their field, and knowledge of corporate management. So excelling in your own field seems to be the fastest way to reach those positions. The other maybe thing that I would say is perhaps start small. Some people, they want to have positions at well-known big companies, but start small with maybe a startup, aspiring companies, and see if you like the role and what you are bringing to the table. And the experience of having served in that capacity will be viewed by other companies looking for their external positions. So we will help you kind of go to the next round of the positions.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I'm certainly the same. I started with a smaller company before being invited to two larger companies. And I think that's such excellent advice. When people are aiming for the huge companies from the get go, it doesn't always serve you as well as getting a little bit of your foot in the water with a smaller company. I totally agree with you on that. Thank you very much for those tips. And then I know you're also been recognized multiple times in awards. I think most recently Woman Lawyer of the Year. I think that's when you first came on my radar. Perhaps that was 2022?
Maybe. Sorry,
Well,
I
that's
don't
sort of
recall.
interesting, your reaction there, because I wonder, what do awards mean to you then? Like personally and professionally, are they something we should pursue? Because there are some people who just really want to win an award, and others it's not really something they pursue, but it comes to them. Where are you on that?
Yes, so it's a great honor, and I'm very happy to see the positive impact these awards have on my family, for me, and colleagues. I don't have any special skills or connections, I don't think. They see me work hard and get recognized for it. So I hope that they're inspired and realize that if I can do it, they can do too. So to that extent, I'm very happy about it. I do not actively pursue them, but I also do not judge people who do. If they motivate them, then you should definitely pursue those awards. It's just really how, you motivate yourself and where you kind of see satisfaction in what you do. So whatever works for you, that seems good to me.
Good. And if you don't succeed the first time, would you keep going? In my case, I think it was three, and then I finally received an award. Yay! But how about you? Do you think it's good to keep going if you really want that, or does it just depend on the person?
I think it depends on the person. I guess why not, right? Why not
What's
pursue
to
them?
lose?
So, yes, I think also it's just so nice to be, shortlisted, recognized. So I am very happy to be shortlisted. That alone it makes me happy because I see the name of other candidates and who are very well known, work hard, very well deserving. So just to be alongside those names is great.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. So, how about then for future lawyers who are coming up through the ranks and they're getting ready for this new world, changing world that you described before? How should they prepare themselves for that? And especially for, say, a younger woman lawyer coming through the profession, what would you advise her to do? So there's two parts to that, future lawyers in general, and then specifically for females.
Right. So I don't pretend to know what will become of our industry's future. I'm excited and open and very curious. I just hope that even in the era of technological disruptions, we in legal professions, value justice, fairness, differences, and individual happiness. In terms of advice to young women, I happen to have a lot of chance to talk to them, and I think that probably it's difficult to have a long time mindset at a time like this. Um, but what I tell them is start with what you have and focus on producing high quality work. And I know that I sound very old fashioned, but it's just in a world full of distractions and kind of anxieties, made in solid ground itself may just put you ahead because it's just not easy. And then see what would come ahead of you because things will come for you.
I think the basics are a good thing because it's just gone a bit crazy. So I really love those things. Just focus on doing the high quality work and, be solid. What brilliant advice that is. And I think too, if that sort of leans in a little bit to well-being and purpose, because I know you are a very passionate person around mental health, well-being, inclusion, and previously you did serve on the board at TEL, Tokyo English Lifeline. Tell me a bit more about that experience and how it's now helping you to shape other lawyers and yourself in well-being and mental health. And perhaps you've got some tips again for lawyers to how to take care of themselves and not have that burnout.
Right. A burnout, anxiety, depression are serious issues. And there is so much stigma in high pressure jobs such as law or banking against admitting to and talking about these issues. And I'm very happy to see that TEL is offering counseling or even lectures as for these professions. So I was also very happy to see a group of professionals from different backgrounds coming together, trying to serve this very great cause in Japan for a community, mostly well English language, so foreigners that are not the majority member of this Japanese community. So it was really an honor to serve alongside those members. And in terms of practical tips, and I'm always looking for those tips as well to myself. You can always do better with your mental well-being. You cannot do too much. But what I do is try to take time to clear my mind and really just don't underestimate the positive impact of exercise, getting sun, fresh air, and good night's sleep. These are all so very basic, but very important as well. And so often so ignored, sacrificed in lawyers' life. I remember that when we were under soft lockdown during COVID, luckily we didn't lose a lot of work, but then we had all these calls back to back, and you don't even have time to, commute. Then I realized that, a lot of well time that's spent on subways, just walking to the subway, on the subway, those kind of time that you don't really do anything or you're not using brain was actually very helpful to function better the rest of the day. So just keep some time away from what you have to do if you can.
Yeah, I think that's just such a good point. The not going on subways and staying kind of sedentary inside really took a turn on us, I feel. And yeah, getting out there and having even a quick 20 minutes, 15 minutes is even better than nothing. And sleep is certainly important. I started recently, or for a few months, an app. It's called Insight Timer, and it's a meditation app, and it's really very good just before sleeping or in a moment just between meetings. Instead of shuffling papers or trying to do another email, just stopping and pressing this app and getting some breathing done is, I'm finding, absolutely fascinating and really working. So I can mention that into the show notes later. But they're also helpful, aren't they? That sort of breathing is underrated as a really great way of helping us to calm down.
Yes, they say that, yeah, deep breathing, 5 times. Just take a minute. It only takes a minute, right? It doesn't really,
Yeah.
when you say exercise and then you feel like, okay, 30-minute exercise and 30 minutes to get there and 30 minutes to come back. But you can really start with very simple things.
Indeed. Yeah. I see too that you're also doing a lot in your firm with DE and I and on several pro bono committees. How are you seeing the progress, probably not only in your firm, but just generally in the community to bring up more female leaders in law firms, bring up that DEI component?
Yes, Japanese law firms have been making probably slow but steady progress in terms of gender diversity. At our firm, NNT, we now offer mentorship program, paid maternity and parental leave for both mothers and fathers, childcare assistance, lectures on unconscious bias and other topics by external professionals. We also have a special allyship program for associates who are close to being promoted to partners. All these, we believe, led to a better retention rate of our female associates. We are also seeing an increase in male associates who are taking paternity leave who wants to seek more better life and work balance. And so these results have been very encouraging. I think that it would just take a little while for the number of female partners, let's say, to substantially increase. Because as I said earlier, representation matters. And as the numbers increase, the number of people who are influenced by looking at those women ahead of them would increase. So it's just a kind of rapid increase, multiple increase that you can expect going forward. I have felt so passionate about this after I had a slightly difficult time after having a baby. So it's been very encouraging and rewarding to see.
I'm so happy to hear about the allyship program and this retention rate for females, but also the increase in men taking paternity leave. We need to see more of that, I think, in Japan. It's one of the big gaps. We talk about DEI for women, but I think it's men as well, right? That they need their skinship time with their child as well. So I'm really glad to hear that. You mentioned mentoring. Let's just touch on that before we do some wind up questions for the episode today. But mentorship is bantered around a lot. But tell me a little bit about that, how it's helped you in your progress through family times, but also your profession, and how you are helping others with mentorship.
I have received great advice from several mentors from time to time. I don't know if they consider themselves to be my mentors, but I consider them as such. And I think oftentimes I went to seek advice when I needed it, as opposed to them sort of coming to me when I didn't know. I am committed to offer mentorship to those who seek it at a firm, obviously, but I keep in mind that I'm offering perspectives that I think will be beneficial. But how they accept these perspectives is up to the recipients. So I don't want to dictate them or tell them what to do, obviously. I think that my sort of leadership style is rather than telling people what to do, but give useful advice or space for them to make their best decisions themselves. And whatever that they decide, I'm very happy because that's what they have to do. Taking all the information that they can, find what they think would work best for them. We say women or we say working parents, but it sounds like a big group, but each has very different individual needs or different circumstances and different desires. So I think mentors at a firm, when we designed our mentorship program, we made sure that it wouldn't just be a handful mentors who have very strong opinions about these topics, but it was important that the people who are seeking mentorship can choose who they want to talk to. And the group of mentors themselves have, different history, different circumstances, and different perspective, so that we will all benefit from viewpoints, well, diverse viewpoints.
So when you have a mentor, do you let them know at the beginning, this is a perspective? I'm going to offer you perspectives, and set that kind of tone from the beginning, and that really what I say is up to you, how you receive it, and you'll hear other opinions from other people, and you'll know inside yourself what you feel, your gut feeling, and all of those things together. But do you explain that at the beginning, that it's a perspective and it's really up to them?
I don't tell them at the beginning,
Hmm.
but I make sure that they understand that before we finish the conversations. And they
Right,
would do so anyway, right? It's
right,
not
right.
like they would do what's being told by others. They are the best person to judge what's best for them.
Yeah.
Um, I think, though, I would like to welcome, challenge or different viewpoints from the mentees as well. So if they think that what I'm saying is kind of old-fashioned, and I'm being called that, to be honest, and then they can tell me that. I think, and it's very important for me that they feel safe with whatever that they decide. So okay, let's say I offer this perspective A, and they didn't like it and they would decided to do something completely different. But I will still root for them. I'm very happy for them.
Right.
So it's important for me that they know that, because otherwise it would be such a shame if this kind of mentorship advice or mentorship sessions will lead to one less person to talk to, right?
Exactly.
I'll try to keep that in mind, especially as you get older, you are more prone to your own worldview. So I have to keep reminding myself that my view is of my own, not applicable to everyone else. I will be very happy if that will help or assist anyone in any way, but the views are of my own.
Well, I have to ask you, because you've been told you're old-fashioned, how do you deal with that?
Well, it was a fairly strong sort of rejection. So, but maybe I am old-fashioned. I think that there's part of me that I'm very old-fashioned.
So you're owning it. It's part of you. You're owning it.
I am definitely owning it, but and that's what I like, and so I'm not apologetic about it. But I think if anything that helped me, it really just helped me think about diversity.
Mm.
So I want to be a proponent of diversity, and I should be the proponent of very different views, diverse backgrounds, not only just diverse background, but diverse viewpoints. So there's always something to learn from that as well.
So, Akemi, I want to ask you, if you were not a lawyer, what career or passion might you be pursuing instead?
My family says I should open a restaurant because
Oh,
I love to cook and I love to cook for a big group of people. So that may be my next chapter of my career. But if I had another life, I think I would like to be a doctor.
oh, I
Um,
see.
Lawyer, it is a very great profession, and so are doctors.
Brilliant. Oh, gosh, that's got me thinking. You cooking and doing a restaurant sounds like a fantastic idea too. What's something people might be surprised to learn about you outside of law? Maybe they didn't know that you love to cook, but what else there might be that they don't know about you?
See, this is a difficult question to answer. So I asked my husband, he said he had no idea. But I think people have told me that they were surprised to learn that I'm from an extremely small town in Gunma.
Ah,
I'm the oldest of four, and somehow people can guess that quite quickly. I have a big sister kind of mentality, but I'm from a very small town. I had to walk an hour each way to go to elementary school. We didn't really have any neighbors. So where I am and the life that I lead and my children lead, very different from where I come from.
interesting. And perhaps that ties into the old fashioned and the way that you did things, right? Oh, that's interesting.
Probably.
I love it. And anything else, just to wrap up, hobbies or rituals that you swear by that keep you grounded? You've talked about going to the gym. Is there anything else that you do that's kind of we don't know about, but something else that gives you that energy outside of work?
So I have two children. I have two furry children, one orange tabby cat and another 4-month-old puppy. He
Oh,
is a furry ball of energy, keeps us busy in good ways. It's just like having another, I guess, baby
yeah,
at home. And it's been very exciting to see how, kind of change the family dynamic and how it really alters all the conversations that we have at home, overnight
I'm
with
sure.
his arrival. So that's very exciting.
What fun. That's
Yes.
so lovely. Well, that's really great. Thank you so much, Akemi. We have reached the end of the chat. I really thank you so much for taking the time to be on Lawyer on Air. It was such a pleasure to speak with you and connect in this way. I learned so much about you I did not know. I hope you enjoyed your time today.
I had a great time. Thank you, Catherine,
Oh,
so much.
good. So, where's the best place for people to reach you? Would it be through your website for your firm, or are you also on LinkedIn?
Yes, I am on LinkedIn, and also people can contact me on the firm's website.
Fantastic. We'll put that information in the show notes. And to everyone who is listening, if this episode has inspired you and gave you something to think about, I would love to hear from you. Please do subscribe, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, send us a review on our website as well. Your feedback really helps more listeners find this show and discover answers to questions they always wanted to know about a career in Japan. Thank you for today. We'll see you back here next time for the next episode. Cheers, kampai, and bye for now.